One of the biggest weeks of our season is upon us, and we're about to find out what this squad is made of. Because on Wednesday, in the Champions League round of 16 second leg, Real Madrid will be traveling across the city to the Metropolitano to take on Atleti. And you already know what I am about to say. This is a must-win game. If you don't hear that, then you're watching the wrong match preview. The boys have no choice but to advance. You must. And I'm super excited because it doesn't get much bigger than a Madrid Derby, and the stakes are super high. It's the business end of the season. It's win or go home. It's do or die. One of these Madrid teams' Champions League hopes will be ended on Wednesday. And I'm telling you something right now. It better not be us. But big up to everybody that's watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications. Get in the comment section and let me know what you're saying. Because we got to talk about both teams. And then at the end of this video, I will be predicting the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti needs to put out there. But let's start off with Real Madrid. Now, we got to look at what's going on in La Liga because it's one of the best title races that's going on in Europe at the moment. And the reason why it's so important is because 2 out of the 3 teams that are involved in the title race are going against each other in the round of 16 in the UCL. Now, I know that a lot of people like to tell you that during the knockout rounds of the Champions League, what's going on in the domestic leagues don't matter. I disagree, especially when you have 2 teams from the same league going against each other. Now, if you look at the table, right, Real Madrid are sitting second. We're level on points with Barcelona, but Barca do have a game in hand. And then you see Atleti sitting third. Now, the reason why this is so important is because what happens on Wednesday can have a major impact on this La Liga title race. Because the team that gets knocked out, with them having to play 1 less game a week, it could be an advantage for them, right? Real Madrid, we're on for the treble. Atleti, they're still in for the treble. Same thing with Barcelona. So this is going to be very interesting. Now, as far as, look, we beat these guys last week. We're coming into the second leg with a 2-1 lead, and I just think it's in our hands. I know that this Atleti team is very good, right? They have a lot of depth. They are stacked, to be very fair to them, right? I think that the Atleti hierarchy have signed some really good players that work in this Simeone system. But we have just been the better team this season. This is the 4th time that we're going to be playing them. And in the 3 games before this one, we've cooked them. Now, in the league, right, we got a draw in both of those games. But last week in the Champions League, we got the win at the Bernabeu, 2-1. Rodrigo scored super early. Then Brahim Diaz got the second goal for us to be able to win that game. Julian Alvarez scored an absolute screamer in that match. That was the only way that they were able to break us down. I think that we controlled them really well in this game. We outplayed them, right? I know a lot of people have this narrative that Atleti were the better team. No, I think Atleti were better than us for spells of the game, but for a majority of the match, it was all us. I would say out of the 90 minutes that this game went, I'd say that we were the better team for 65 to 70 of those minutes. I don't like how people are trying to make it seem like Atleti were just dominating us. Aside from Julian Alvarez scoring that banger, he was non-existent. Aside from, Antoine Griezmann, non-existent. Their midfield wasn't really doing that much. So, look, I'm feeling confident. I know that people are saying that Atleti do have a chance. And, look, if you're in it, then you do have a chance. But they've never knocked us out of the UCL. I think that the 2-1 victory that we had last week was a very good game. And I know that it's going to be a lot different, right? We know that Atleti like to play that haram ball. We know that they got them satanic tactics going on. We know that they practice the dark arts. But now the pressure is going to be on them to attack us. they're going to have to come out of their comfort zone. They're not going to be able to be so defensive because they're the ones who are losing. And I think that by them opening up, we're going to be able to hit them on the counter. We're going to be able to hit them first and score, in my opinion, the first goal, which will then change the complete complexion of the tie. Now, I want to look at the form, right? Because we've only played one game after that. We did just beat Rayo Vallecano 2-1. I think in the first half of that game, we were really good. Mbappe scored, Vinny scored, we were cooking. But the second half was super mid. And if we play like that against Atleti, they will punish us. We cannot go out there and have a lackluster performance in that second half against Rayo Vallecano. We cannot do that against Atleti, bro. Julian Alvarez, Griezmann, and those guys, Sorloth, Correa, they'll definitely be able to take advantage. And I think that the players during this 2-1 win against Rayo Vallecano, I think that they were trying to preserve their energy because we know how important the matchup is against Atleti on Wednesday. So I think that they just did enough to just get the 3 points, right? As I said earlier, our league form has not been that good, right? We lost to Real Betis just last week. So it makes sense that, the boys, they're trying to just get the win, but also not burn themselves out. Now, another thing that I want to call out just really quickly against Atleti that I forgot to in the game last week, Fede Valverde, fantastic at right back, right? I think even when Atletico made their subs, right, when they brought on Sorloth, when they brought on Angel Correa, those guys that usually come off the bench and get goals for them, they were non-existent. Defensively, we were very good. So I wanted to call that out as well. But yeah, look, let me know what you're saying for Real Madrid's form, right? We are going into this game on 2 wins. Things are looking up. I definitely need that to continue. But yeah, chat, what are you saying about Real Madrid's form? Now, speaking about Atletico, right? They are sitting 3rd in La Liga. They're on 56 points. They're 1 behind us, 1 behind Barca. And they've slipped in this title race, right? Because they lost to Getafe 2-1. They capitulated at the end of that match. The Getafe player scored a brace against them. They were up 1-0. They scored a penalty. But it's like, defensively, toward the end of the game, I guess they must have thought that it was over. Because the way that Getafe was able to capitalize off of their lackluster defending was very surprising. So, look, Atleti, they're not coming into this game on the best form, right? They lost to us, then they lost to Getafe. But obviously, right, it's the Champions League, knockout stages, anything can happen. But as I said earlier, I just believe that the form that you come into these matchups on, it does matter because it does give you some context to how the team is playing. Now, I just want to talk about some Atleti injury news, right? Because they have a few players that are doubtful for this game, right? Like Lenglet, the center back. Rodrigo de Shit. They're saying that he might not be available as well. Koke, Angel Carrera, who got a red card against Getafe, he will be available for the UCL match, but he won't be available for their La Liga match against Barcelona, which is going to be, that's going to be a big miss for them. Because again, Angel Carrera coming off the bench, he's usually involved in getting a goal when they're struggling. But yeah, man, look, Koke, Rodrigo de Paul, and Lenglet, they are doubtful for this game. They picked up injuries over the weekend. So let me know what you guys are saying about Atleti and their form and any of these injuries that they have going on. Because I know that there's going to be some Atletico fans that will be watching this. Now, let's go back to Madrid and let's talk about some of the injury updates that we have. Now, Dan Ceballos, we know that he's not going to be available, right? He's probably not going to come back until, I don't think, early May, possibly. I don't think that we're going to see Ceballos for a little bit of time, which sucks because of how pivotal he was for our team this season. I mean, Dan Ceballos has been phenomenal over the last few months. So, him being injured is definitely going to be a big blow for us. Jesus Vallejo doesn't really matter, right? He's not going to play for Real Madrid again. He's only played, I think, 10 minutes this season. He's not that good. His contract runs out at the end. Adios. Good luck to you, brother. Now, Militao, Danny Carvajal, they've both torn their ACLs, so they're not going to be available until next season. And a few players who are not even here, but didn't play over the weekend or picked up an injury against Raul Vallecano, right? Jude had to get subbed off. Hopefully he's fit, right? Everybody's saying that it's just a precautionary thing just to get him rested. I think Vinicius, they were also saying, was dealing with an issue as well. Thibaut Courtois was rested. Rudiger was rested as well. I do believe that everyone will be fit for this game, right? I don't really see any of these guys missing a matchup right now. I can actually pull it up right here for you guys. But look, Justin, the club reports that Vinicius has a minor injury to a toe on his right foot. Bellingham has suffered a minor blow to his right thigh. Rodrigo has suffered a blow to the, I can't even pronounce that, but his left hand. He's basically hurt, but it's not serious. Ancelotti believes he can count on everyone for the derby. So I did want to call this out, but it is a big boost for us that the club believes that none of these injuries are serious. Now, let's get into my favorite part of every single match preview, and that is building the predicted starting 11. Now, I think that we're going to be out there in the 4-2-3-1, or I think there's a possibility of a 4-4-2, but I prefer the 4-2-3-1, so that's what I will line us up in. Now, in goal, I think that Thibaut Courtois will return. Look, Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He was rested against Raul Vallecano. Lunin was playing that game. So Courtois is going to be fresh. He's going to be fit. And he may be a little bit busy because, again, Atleti are going to have to attack us. So I'm looking for Courtois to have a very big game. Now, at right back, Valverde must return to the starting 11. Look, I think that Lucas Vazquez was decent against Vallecano, but we know that in these big games, I'd rather have my grandma at right back than have Vazquez. This guy couldn't defend a light pole, okay? Fede Valverde, in my opinion, this guy is phenomenal. What can't he do? I think with him being at right back, Fede Valverde is one of the best right backs in the world. You saw the masterclass that he had last week against Atleti, and I expect him to have a big game again. And I like the fact that we've been resting him lately because Valverde has been playing a shit ton of games, and we cannot afford for him to get injured. Now, at right center back, we're going with Asensio. Asensio's been our best defender this season, right? He's been phenomenal. And I think he needs to start. Even though against Vallecano the other day, he didn't play the best, and David Alaba did outperform him. But Asensio, bro, this guy is an absolute gem. I know that it's annoying having all the injuries that we've had, but I wouldn't change anything because we have unearthed the Sergio Ramos regen from our academy. So I think Raul Asensio needs to start. Left center back, I think Rudiger returns to the 11. I do not believe that he'll miss this game. He was not available against Raul Vallecano, but I have all faith that he will be available against Atleti. Now, at left back, we're going to go Mendy, right? Fran Garcia started the last game that we played, and Fran Garcia actually did pretty well. But we need Ferland Mendy out there for his defensive capabilities, right? We're going to need somebody that is physical. We're going to need somebody that's able to lock down attackers in 1v1 situations, and that's what Ferland Mendy can do for us. So this is the back line that I'm going with. Now, in the midfield, I think Camavinga will be starting, right? I would prefer Luka Modric, but Luka Modric started against Vallecano. I can't see him at 40 years old starting back-to-back games. So Camavinga will return to the 11, and I need Camavinga to fix up. I think Camavinga was pretty mid in the first half versus Atleti. In the second half, he played a lot better. We need his form to turn around. Camavinga has not been that good this season. He's actually been struggling a bit. And it just sucks because he's regressed. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries. And then when he's came back from those injuries, he's just not been able to string together good performances. But having him out here for a game like this where we're going to do a lot of running, it does make sense. So I think Camavinga will start. And then next to him, Tchouaméni, who, in my opinion, is one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. Fantastic DM. I tried to tell people, there's no DM in the world that I would trade Tchouaméni for. I think he is phenomenal. He has been fantastic since that Celta Vigo Copa del Rey match. Who said that booing your players does not work? Tchouaméni has been phenomenal. So this is the double pivot that I think that we go with. Now, in the 10, I think Jude starts this game, right? Jude owes us a big performance. He was not available for the first leg against Atleti. He was suspended, but he's now fully back. And yeah, I think Jude is due for a big-time game. And we know that Jude is one of the best midfielders in the world, right? Very physical, helps defensively, and helps in the attack as well. Masterclass incoming. Now, Rodrigo, I think, will be on the on the right wing again, right? I was about to say on the left, but no, Rodrigo will start on the right. He got a goal last time. He was absolutely cooking Gallon. And I hope that we use Rodrigo as a focal point in our attack, because that left back that Atleti have is a massive liability. And we saw Rodrigo cooked him in that first half. I don't get why we stopped going to Rodrigo when he had the hot hand. Now, at left wing, Vinicius, right? We saw Vinicius drop a masterclass in that first half against Rayo Vallecano. I'm still waiting for a 90-minute performance where Vinicius is cooking, and I believe that it's coming soon, right? Vinicius, big game player. UCL knockout round, this is when this guy activates, okay? I expect him to have a big performance, bro. I think that Vinicius will be very involved in whatever we have going on during this match. Now, in the 9, you know that we got to go Mbappe. Look, man, Mbappe has been on some great form. He's officially back, right? I know that the first half of the season, he was very mid, but that's no longer what we're seeing anymore. So this is my starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti will put out there. Get in the comment section and let me know if you agree with this. But look, chat, it's going to be a very, very big day on Wednesday, and you guys definitely want to have those notifications turned on for this channel, because we will be doing a watch along for the game, and I need you guys to smash that like button and get in the comment section and give me your score prediction and join the Discord, right? The link is pinned down below. Big up to your damn selves. Holla Madrid!